There's a storm brewing around Big U. He's now facing serious allegations, including murder, fraud, and RICO charges. To make matters worse, some are even pointing fingers at him for Nipsey Hussle's death.
I've been saying a long time ago Big U in the 60s had killed Nip.
The shocking video allegedly leaked from jail is now making waves online, and some are saying this might be the smoking gun that seals his fate. Let's break it all down. This is the real story behind Big U and the explosive footage tied to a murder case. Trust, this one's got layers. We're peeling back every single one. For those unfamiliar, Big U is a heavyweight in both the music industry and the streets. The 58-year-old South Los Angeles music executive has been called the godfather of hip-hop by artists like Wiz Khalifa. He played a major role in launching the career of the late Nipsey Hussle. But it doesn't stop there. Big U also ran a community organization called Developing Options, aimed at curbing gang violence and uplifting the youth, at least on the surface. Here's where it gets messy. Federal prosecutors are now saying that this community activist persona was nothing more than a front. According to their claims, Big U was actually the mastermind behind a violent, mafia-style criminal operation connected to the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips. The allegations are staggering: murder, racketeering, extortion, fraud, and trafficking. We're talking about a 43-count federal indictment that could lock him up for life. And with this newly leaked jail footage going viral, things just got even more real.
Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise.
The charges are serious, fam. Real heavy. Among the most severe is the alleged murder of 21-year-old Ron Williams, an up-and-coming rapper who was signed to Big U's unique music label.
Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
According to federal prosecutors, things took a deadly turn after aspiring rapper Rayshawn Williams recorded a diss track aimed at West Coast figure Big U. That track didn't sit right with Big U, and the feds allege that he retaliated in the coldest way possible. Prosecutors claim that Big U orchestrated Williams' kidnapping and eventual murder. Williams' body was later discovered in a ditch near a Nevada landfill, with multiple gunshot wounds to the face. If that wasn't chilling enough, the indictment states Big U tried to cover his tracks by removing studio equipment and surveillance, footage that could have implicated him, and that's just scratching the surface. The indictment goes deep, real deep. Big U is also facing serious RICO charges, accused of leading a criminal enterprise linked to the Rollin 60s Crips. Federal agents allege he orchestrated violent crimes to maintain control of his organization. On top of that, he's facing fraud and embezzlement charges. Prosecutors say he siphoned funds from his own anti-gang charity, committing wire fraud, bank fraud, and essentially stealing taxpayer money meant to help the community. There are even more charges: extortion, robbery, and trafficking. The enterprise is alleged to have been involved in violent extortion schemes, armed robberies, and even interstate prostitution. Then comes the obstruction of justice. The feds say they've got wiretap recordings from January 2023 where Big U allegedly brags about taking out rivals, reportedly saying, "I'm a killer, period. I am going to murder." This brings us to the rumors surrounding disturbing footage. Some people have been asking if Big U shared a murder video from behind bars. But here's the thing. The federal complaint mentions that Big U allegedly ordered the removal of surveillance footage from the Las Vegas studio where Williams had recorded. If any incriminating footage existed, it was likely destroyed. As it stands, the key evidence against Big U appears to be wiretap recordings, audio files, and circumstantial evidence tied to Williams' death. So back to the big question. Did Big U really leak a murder video from jail? There is disturbing footage floating around, raw, graphic, and real. But there's no verified link connecting it to Big U. It's not just some shock clip that'll be forgotten in a few days. This is the kind of video that grabs you by the gut and forces you to ask, who's really behind this? When Big U's name gets tied to a murder case, it hits different. See, Big U isn't just some street figure or name on a mixtape. His influence runs deep, from the blocks to the boardrooms. His reputation wasn't built on clout, it was built in silence. He's known for making power moves quietly. No video posts, no grandstanding. Just a look, a whisper, a quiet signal, and the streets get the message. So when a murder video surfaces and the streets start connecting dots, it's no surprise that people are asking if he's involved. But there's also a high chance that folks are mixing up cases. For example, there's been buzz about the 2020 footage related to the murder of rapper Mo3, tied to Yellow Beezy's circle. That case involved highway footage of Mo3 being chased and killed. But that situation has no connection to Big U. Let's also keep it real. Big U has been in federal custody since March 2025. Inmates generally don't have the means to upload or share footage like that. No reports indicate he's had access to any video sharing tools behind bars. Still, the case against Big U runs deep, and we're just getting started. Let's rewind the tape and look at the murder that has Big U facing life in prison and the criminal empire the feds say he built from the ground up. Rayshawn Williams was a 21-year-old up-and-coming rapper signed to Big U's Unique music label. But according to investigators, things went south in early 2021. Big U allegedly funded a trip for Williams to Las Vegas to record music at a studio run by a Grammy-winning producer. But Williams didn't stick to the plan. Instead, he used the session to record a diss track targeting Big U himself. That move, the feds say, was seen as a direct shot at Big U's reputation. And in the streets, disrespect can be deadly. According to the indictment, Big U and his associate, Sylvester Robinson, aka Vi, traveled to Vegas to confront Williams. What allegedly happened next is straight up horrifying. Big U is accused of personally driving Williams to North Las Vegas, shooting him in the head, and dumping his body off Interstate 15. When authorities found Williams' body, it was 4 miles northeast of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, with multiple gunshot wounds to the face. That's stone cold. After the killing, Big U allegedly told studio workers to leave so his associate could erase surveillance footage. He also reportedly pressured witnesses to stay silent when questioned by law enforcement.
Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
The case against Big U is heating up. A key piece of evidence comes from an affidavit filed by FBI Special Agent Andrew Rusa. According to the document, a diss track by Williams played a significant role in escalating tensions, directly challenging Big U's authority and damaging his reputation. While DNA found at the scene didn't conclusively link Big U to the incident, it also didn't rule him out as a suspect. Adding to the complexity, a witness identified only as CA told investigators that Big U paid a visit to Williams at an Airbnb in Las Vegas. Williams had reportedly been missing scheduled studio sessions, citing a lack of transportation as the reason. But Big U isn't staying silent. Before surrendering to authorities on March 19, 2025, he took to social media to deny all allegations. In a series of videos, he claimed the accusations were part of a smear campaign, an attempt to tear down his reputation as a respected black community leader.
I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they're trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family.
He flat out denied any wrongdoing, saying, "I didn't do anything." He dismissed the charges as complete nonsense.
Never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody, I didn't steal nothing.
He straight up said, "I ain't did nothing," and described the charges as bullcrap.
I'm gonna deal with this fight, see what it is. I'm gonna try to know. All this stuff is quagmire. Shit's all.
But federal authorities believe they've got their man. On April 22, 2025, a judge ruled that Big U would remain behind bars as he awaits trial. The decision was based on the serious nature of the charges, including the murder of Williams and compelling evidence of obstruction. Prosecutors argued successfully that if released, Big U would pose a danger to the community, as well as to victims and witnesses connected to the case. Now let's take a step back and examine the broader scope of what the federal government is calling the Big U enterprise. According to the indictment, this isn't just about a single murder. It's about an entire criminal operation, one that, while operating independently, allegedly collaborated closely with the Rollins 60s Crips. Federal prosecutors claim Big U maintained a dual identity, one as a respected music industry figure and community activist, and another as the leader of a sophisticated criminal organization. His nonprofit, Developing Options, was the recipient of major funding for anti-gang efforts, including donations from high-profile NBA stars like Draymond Green and Shaquille O'Neal. But behind the scenes, prosecutors say, it was all a carefully constructed facade.
The RICO charges against Mr. Henley and his associates reflect a pattern of crimes that runs the gambit from extortion to robbery to murder to tax fraud and to human trafficking, all under the umbrella of a well-organized criminal organization led by Mr. Henley.
Big U is under fire, facing serious allegations of fraud and financial misconduct. He's accused of misappropriating $2.35 million in funds from Los Angeles Gang Reduction and Youth Development, GRYD program, money that was supposed to help fight gang violence through his nonprofit, Developing Options. Instead, investigators claim Big U diverted those funds into personal accounts, raising major concerns about donor deception and the misuse of public resources.
There was an embezzlement angle to this, to the criminal enterprise, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were siphoned off that should have gone to charitable purposes, gang reduction, gang intervention. Instead, he used it for his own purposes, his own criminal enterprise.
The extortion allegations in this case are nothing short of explosive. According to the indictment, Big U and his associates are accused of extorting both individuals and businesses, including a shocking claim that they collected a $3 million debt from an NBA All-Star in 2022. Prosecutors also allege that when an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles stopped making extortion payments, Big U's crew orchestrated a robbery to send a message, but the charges don't stop there. Big U is also facing serious human trafficking allegations under the Mann Act. He's accused of paying Armania Flacier $1,000 to transport 3 women from California to Las Vegas for prostitution, and it doesn't end with trafficking. The indictment outlines a broader criminal enterprise involved in drug trafficking and firearms violations. Among the co-defendants are rappers Loose Cannon and Brick Baby, both of whom face charges tied to robbery, drug distribution, and illegal gun possession. If convicted, Big U could be staring down a life sentence. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his trial is currently scheduled to begin May 20th, 2025, though that date could still change. As the legal battle unfolds, the family of Ran Williams, whose murder is central to this case, has stepped into the spotlight. His mother has spoken out publicly, demanding justice and firmly asserting Big U's guilt. All of this paints a complex picture of Big U, a music executive, a self-proclaimed community activist, and, according to federal prosecutors, the alleged head of a sophisticated criminal organization. The Williams murder is being used as a key example of how Big U allegedly used violence to control his empire and silence anyone who opposed him. But here's the thing, fam. As shocking as these allegations are, it's crucial to remember the principle of innocent until proven guilty. Big U maintains his innocence, and the prosecution's case, especially in the Williams murder, appears to rely heavily on circumstantial evidence. That leaves room for the defense to challenge the narrative in court. And that brings us to another part of this saga, one that's been blowing up across social media: the rumored connection between Big U and another tragic high-profile murder, that of Nipsey Hussle. Now let's be crystal clear. Big U has not been charged. In connection with Nipsey Hussle's death, the federal indictment makes no such claim. The rumors and speculation linking him to the 2019 murder are based on social media posts, old interviews, and resurfaced videos. Not hard evidence. So where do these rumors come from? Well, Big U played a major role in Nipsey's early career. He managed him during his come-up and even signed him to a 10-year deal with Unique Music. By all accounts, the two were once close, but sources say their relationship soured, reportedly over music equipment. That fallout allegedly inspired Nipsey to record the track, You Don't Got a Clue, which many now believe was a diss aimed at Big U. You don't got a clue. Of what you want to do, I'm busy getting rich. You think I'm gonna stop for you? I built this on my own, and everybody know it's true. Still act like they supposed to have control of what I do. Following that, it's alleged that Big U wanted to discipline Nipsey, but his brother stepped in to stop things from escalating. There are also reports of a related shooting that led to a police response. As we all know, Nipsey Hussle was tragically murdered in March 2019 by Eric Holder, a member of the Rollin' 60s Crips. Holder was later convicted and sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. While the Nipsey connection remains speculation without formal charges, it's another layer in a story that continues to grow darker and more complex. For now, all eyes remain on the upcoming trial, and whether Big U's alleged empire will hold up under the weight of the federal government's case.
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered.
He continued by saying,
So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
The official story has always claimed that Nipsey Hussle was killed by Eric Holder over a personal disagreement involving snitching allegations. But here's where things get murky. A resurfaced 2020 podcast clip from No Jumper featuring Whack 100 and Loose Cannon has sparked fresh speculation. In the clip, Loose Cannon makes a bold claim that Big U allegedly knew about Nipsey's murder 30 minutes before it happened. According to Cannon, Big U even called him to share this information, raising serious questions about what really happened that day.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie. They killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the detail, Nip and Big U got into it.
This video was reportedly removed by No Jumper following Big U's 2025 arrest, which only sparked more speculation. Another resurfaced clip shows Big U laughing after hearing about Hussle's death, which some have interpreted as incriminating. However, without context, it's impossible to determine the true meaning behind that laughter. It could have been shock, disbelief, or any number of emotions. Former death row rapper SKG, also known as Shuja Nightgirl, weighed in during a TMZ interview, alleging that Big U was involved in Hussle's murder. She claimed he orchestrated attacks against her and extorted others to avoid working with her. SKG also stated she spoke with Rayshawn Williams' family and Whack 100 about Big U's alleged actions. However, these allegations have yet to be verified. Controversial commentator Charleston White has also entered the conversation. In a resurfaced video, he accused Big U of being behind Hussle's murder, although no evidence has been presented to support this claim.